Hi there, Kimberly McAlinden here for Knit 123. We're discussing woven techniques in knitting, and this is for issue 8. We're working on iPad covers, and here is the beginning stitch. The beginner iPad cover is made using the woven stitch. This is a great stitch. It gives you a nice thick fabric. It doesn't curl up on itself. The public viewing, or the right side, has this really pretty knit look with these little woven pieces of the yarn, and then the purl side has this funky nubbly texture, which I really liked, and I like that this part is going to be protecting my iPad. So let's get started on the stitch. As you can see, it looks a little different here. My yarn is coming in between these first two stitches, and we'll get to why that happens in a minute. So what you're going to be doing is bringing your yarn around to the back, because essentially this first stitch on the purl side is the last stitch, and it needs to be wrapped. So we're just kind of manually wrapping it with our yarn. So we're going to go into that stitch and we're going to knit it. Then the pattern says with yarn in front, W-Y-I-F. What we're going to do is bring the yarn to the front, slip purlwise as if you were to purl. Don't slip it as knit, slip it as if to purl, and then bring your yarn to the back to knit the next stitch. So let's do that again. With the yarn in front, slip one stitch as if to purl, bring the yarn to the back, and knit the next stitch. So let's just complete this row, and I'll show you the way that I do it for time's sake. Okay, so here we are at the end. Now I have a wrap. So what I'm going to do is bring the yarn to the front and slip that stitch as if to purl. So see how the yarn gets stuck in between the two stitches. Now we're going to go to the funky purl side. You know, when I was making this, I thought, oh, this would be so cool for a bath mat, wouldn't it? Don't you want to just stand on it with your bare feet? Okay, here we go with the purl stitch. Now this is another wrap stitch, as you can see on this side. So what I usually do is I put my needle, I just kind of come up underneath the working yarn, and I'm going to purl. Now I'm going to do the opposite. Bring the yarn to the back, slip the next stitch as if to purl, bring the yarn to the front, and purl the next stitch. And it really is that simple. So one thing you can tell yourself is knit, purl, or I'm sorry, slip, purl, slip, purl. But you will get the hang of it. So here's our last purl stitch. I'm going to bring the yarn to the back and I'm going to slip. And then you can see how the yarn is in between those two stitches. I hope you enjoy working with the linen stitch.